about to give them what they want.
Go Beastmode, dude.
I don't think they're ready for this, though. Beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode.
What's good, YouTube? You know who it is. Chris Jones, representing Pump Chasers. Hold on real quick. Oh yeah, y'all see the shirt? Bam! About to step out in a moment. Check it out, fam. Cuts FTS. Big shout outs to my supporters. You already know. Go to tigerfitness.com and get your Pump Chaser subs, okay? First quarter is going to be great this year for 2025. Thank you guys for your patience. We got some great things coming. Thank you so much for your patience, okay? Speaking of tigerfitness.com, owner of tigerfitness.com, Marc Lobliner, is in this video I'm about to talk about, which is actually cool because even if Marc wasn't in the video, I would still talk about it because I feel like the video was that good. I also feel like it was a pretty important video as well, okay? Let's talk about that video a little bit. I got my phone right here, okay? Got my phone right here. This video is from a channel called Jubilee. This channel has 9 million subscribers. The video has only been up one day and it's already over 500,000 views. All right, so here's the title. Taking steroids is cheating. Natural versus steroid bodybuilders. Now what they did was they got a group of natural lifters to the left and then they got enhanced steroid taking bodybuilders to the right. And what they did was they brought up 7 questions. After each question, they'll go back and forth and talk about it. It's not so much a debate, more so open dialogue. After those 7 questions, they voted on who had the best physique. I highly recommend this video. It's a little over an hour, about an hour and 9 minutes, okay? Highly recommend this video. Like I said, I feel like this is an important video. This is gonna be one of those videos, kind of like pumping iron in a way, right? Where you wanna see how this video ages. Maybe after 10 years, go back and check, see how this video ages. This could very well be one of those videos after 25 years, go back and see how it ages, okay? It's one of those type videos. And like it or not, fam, I mean, I'll spare you on the hippie shit, but like it or not, the universe is mental. So fuck the views. A lot of eyewitnesses saw that video. So everything must come back full circle. Again, it's one of those videos where after 10 years, maybe even 25 years, go back and see how everything ages, okay? So to keep it 100% real with you guys, this is one of those videos where so much game to soak up. Keep it with so much food, so much game to soak up if you read between the lines. Low key, I could make about 3 videos off that one video alone. But what we're gonna do is, I want you guys to check it out and then comment below and let me know what you thought about the video. Okay, were there any key points to this video that stuck to you? Okay, I'm gonna tell you 2 things that I didn't like. And like I said, maybe if I look through my comment section and see if there's a demand, we can do a part 2. But as of right now, I'm just gonna tell you 2 things about this video I didn't like. Okay, so first thing I didn't like I said, they asked them 7 questions and then they voted on who had the best physique. So peep this, not once did they bring up is taking steroids cheating. Out of all 7 of those questions, they didn't bring up is taking steroids cheating. I don't like that. I'm not saying it's clickbait. I'm just saying I don't like that. I was very interested to hear them talk about, did they think taking steroids was cheating? You know, one of the questions was, do they feel like natural bodybuilding is the future?
Natural bodybuilding is the future.
way the world has viewed bodybuilding together as a whole.
Shout out to Joshua Manoi, representing natural bodybuilding. He stood on business. Stood on business for natural bodybuilding. He believes natural bodybuilding is going to be the future. Okay? So that's one of the questions they brought up. Okay? The closest question out of the 7 that was to the title was this question right here. The question was, natural bodybuilding is the only form of honest bodybuilding. Do you feel like natural bodybuilding is the only form of honest bodybuilding? Check out these clips right here. This is a clip from Marc talking to a natural competitor. And he said steroid bodybuilding is unsafe, unhealthy. Look at this clip right here.
Natural bodybuilding is the only honest form of bodybuilding. Agreeers, please step forward.
People want to see, people want to see the big freaks. But the bottom line
I think that
is,
there's a difference between what people want to see and also what's good, right? Or what's healthy, what's the right thing. There's the right thing and there's
is natural bodybuilding healthy?
Said honest.
Is
well,
getting
natural
down-
bodybuilding to a certain degree is not.
Is
correct?
getting down.
Right.
Look, I
But
would
I
argue.
think natural bodybuilding is not as unhealthy as taking drugs.
Okay, so getting yourself down to 5% body fat, where your testosterone plummets
Sure.
to the single digits, that's healthy?
Sure, no, that's not healthy.
Do you realize?
I like that clip right there because instead of saying, you hypocrite, what Marc did was asked him a question.
Is natural bodybuilding healthy?
Said honest.
Is
Well,
getting
natural
down-
bodybuilding to a certain degree is not.
Is,
correct?
He asked him a question that kind of forces him to answer in his favor. If that guy would have said, yes, natural bodybuilding is healthy, Marc could have, with love, eased him back where he wants him by giving him the facts. He could say, you think natural bodybuilding is healthy? Well, getting low in body fat percentage literally drops your testosterone to old man levels. See, he could have started giving him the facts. And remember, facts are not attacks. See, knowledge is power, especially when you're in a debating type environment. So that was pretty cool, Marc, all right? But yeah, that was the closest question to the title. The title is taking steroids is cheating. So I want to talk about right now my opinion on, do I think steroids is cheating? Okay? Now, let me give you an analogy, right? So we can somewhat be on the same page, because I understand I'm not going to be able to catch everybody with this analogy. Some people never play video games ever, okay? Some people never played this particular video game ever, but at least I'll be able to get a good chunk of people on board. Now, I like playing a game called Grand Theft Auto. One of my favorite games of all time, CJ from San Andreas. Notice, my initials are CJ, by the way. Okay? CJ from San Andreas, Grand Theft San Andreas, okay? Let's say I played this game. It took me weeks to beat it, right? I played the game, bought my guns, you know, completed my missions, everything. I finally beat the game. I go to a homeboy house of mine. Not only did he beat the game a week early, but he's telling me about these cheat codes. Apparently, when he's running low on ammo, he can push certain combinations in his joystick. Poof! He has unlimited ammo. He gets more ammo. He gets an ammo refill. If his health starts to decline, like he's gotten shot, he put in a certain combination, poof, health goes back to 100%. If his wanted level goes up, cops are looking for him, he can make the cops go away by pushing a certain combination on his joystick. Although he completed the game, although he completed the same missions I completed, we had two different experiences, period. Our experiences were very similar on the surface level, but that's on a surface level. We have two different levels of planning and definitely two different levels of precision. The stakes are different. So that's how I look at it when I think about bodybuilding. And I'm talking about I'm talking about competitive. I'm not talking about lifestyle. I'm talking competitive. You know, competitive bodybuilding naturally versus competitive bodybuilding enhanced. Yes, there's some similarities, but there are definitely some differences. And anybody who says otherwise is fucking lying. Taking steroids in bodybuilding, I don't consider that cheating, but these drugs are cheat codes. Don't let that go over your head now. PEDs in bodybuilding is not cheating, assuming that you're competing in an organization that don't test. IFBB League at the moment do not test, unless you sign up for their natural shows. Okay? Taking steroids in bodybuilding is not cheating, but these PEDs are definitely cheat codes. Let me give you a prime example. I'm gonna give you a prime example. We're gonna use Samson Dauda. That's Mr. Olympia right now. The current Mr. Olympia, Samson, right? Now, when he won the Olympia, a lot of people were talking about how he was coached by his wife. I even did a video about it. I thought that was cool, how he didn't have no fancy big name coach like a Hani or a Chad Nichols or a Chris Aceto, right? Or Milos. Like, he didn't get one of them. He had his wife coaching him and won the Olympia. Now, it came out a little later that he actually had someone doing his hormone therapy. A lot of people assumed it was just him and his wife doing his hormone protocols. He actually had somebody doing that. Look at this clip right here. Check out this clip right here.
America, we got Michael Warner. His knowledge is crazy and sort of came with him because God knows, people know that I absolutely hate prep. Not for the starving or the tiredness of hard work, but just the mental side of it. I completely go from being chilled and laid back to being completely aggressive, irritable and everything else. I just become a really bad human being in prep. So having somebody to speak to and say, look, this is the thing that I go through in prep. Can you sort of explain to me sort of why and what causes it? And having him break down everything and look through my blood work and see everything and say, okay, this is probably why. And honestly, the changes he's made has been night and day. I've never felt this.
Now, as you heard him say, he said, this is my Samson impression. I gotta work on that, fam. I'm an asshole on prep, man. I'm an asshole, man.
I completely go from being chilled and laid back to being completely aggressive, irritable and everything else. I just become a really bad human being in prep.
He told you he's an asshole. Peep the game. You can go to a clinic when your test levels are down. You're feeling like an asshole. You need some help with healing and recovery. You can take drugs. These drugs are not cheating, but these drugs are clear cheat codes. You know, when I was feeling like an asshole on prep, you know what I had to do? I had to fucking deal with it. I wasn't able to go to no fucking clinic and get powered the fuck up. These drugs are cheat code. When you're feeling like an asshole, maybe you need to go meditate. Maybe, go take a fucking nap. Maybe you need to go work through it. Work through your demons. Work through those voices in your head. Have a deep, honest conversation with yourself. Sometimes when you're having cravings, I'm talking crazy ass fucking cravings, you gotta deal with it. You gotta meditate on it. You gotta make something that tastes good but doesn't take you off your macro protocols. You can't just go take GLP or Ozempic or whatever other drug these people are promoting these days. These drugs are cheat codes. Are they cheating? No. If you're in an organization where there's no test, cool, may the best man win. But you are lying, absolutely lying, if you're gonna get on camera and say these drugs are not cheat codes. That's all I'm saying. I wish they would have talked about the title in the video. I was really hoping to hear them talk about this. Maybe they should do a part 2. Okay, so that's the first issue I have with the video. Okay, the issue is they didn't talk about the title. Period. Do you guys think steroids is cheating? Comment below. I believe they're cheat codes. Okay? Cheat codes to the game. There are certain things we're supposed to experience, and these drugs help you escape that experience. Or at the very least, makes that experience a little more easier. Period. Okay? Now the second issue I have with the video is there was a scene right here. The question was, do steroids lead to unrealistic standards?
Steroid use leads to unrealistic standards. Would the agreeers please step forward?
Okay, that was a pretty interesting part where this guy named Nyle, he was talking about his experiences with a coach. I want to talk about this. Low key could be a video by itself, but we're going to talk about this a little bit in this video, okay? I'm gonna start the video right here. Check out this clip. He's talking about an experience he had with the coach. Check it out.
And then I was with the coach at the time, and I know this is something that's, I think there are a lot of coaches out there that care about the health of their athletes and their individuals, but there's also those who just care about their athletes being first place. Mm-hmm. And my coach at the time was saying, if you want to do well, you got to take some shit, bro. And I would keep denying him, like 5 shows, then the last 3 national shows, I just kept denying him, and then he kept pressing things, and he's like, take these aromatase inhibitors.
Notice in this clip right here, he says there are some coaches that care about their clients' health, and there are some coaches that only care about that first place, okay? A lot of people already know that, but we appreciate now for spreading awareness. Some of these coaches really don't care about your health. They just want you to win, make them look good so they can get more clients. It's up to you. It's up to you to use your discernment. It's up to you to do your due diligence to understand who you were dealing with. So with that said, once Nyle told this man no once, you now knew what the type of person you were dealing with. Once you told this man no twice, you for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, know who you're dealing with. There's an old saying that goes like this: when someone shows you who they are, believe them. After telling that man no twice and you still stayed around, you know what that means? You allowed his influence to leak into you. I know this, I'm not trying to get too deep into the hippie shit, but we're gonna go there. We're not gonna get too deep though. Notice he's wearing not just one cross, he's double crossed up. Now some people, fam, they just wear crosses as a fashion statement. Not saying that about Nyle, but you double crossed up. So I expect you to understand some of these biblical stories. Notice Samson in his covenant. I like to think of a covenant like a meal plan. Notice Samson in his covenant, he was not to marry any foreign women. However, he's still over here interacting with Delilah. You are literally flirting with death because you can't marry this woman anyway. You cannot marry this woman anyway, so fucking around with her, lying around with her, fornicating with her, you're just setting yourself up for influence. The longer you hang around people, the more they have the opportunity to be an influence on you. You gotta really have a strong mind. You gotta really have a strong mind when you are a certain way and you're around people that's trying to change you. Because they can fuck around and their influence can creep into you. Notice Samson told Delilah about his hair. He was not supposed to do that. See, when you're hanging around people too long, you shouldn't be around, their influence can creep into you. Nyle wanted to stay natural. According to his story, you can go watch the video, he wanted to stay natural. Okay? He was tempted. That's what people do. That man did what he was supposed to do. He tempted you. You told him no. You passed. You told him no again. It's time for you to find another coach. Why? Because this man clearly does not belong around you. And if he stays around you too long, he will influence you. Just like Samson was influenced. You better peep this game. This man got 2 crosses on. You gotta peep this game. This man is double crossed up. You gotta peep this game. See, when you wake up and come to the truth, you gotta take accountability for your actions. Trust and believe, that's one of the hardest things to do. We talk about forgiveness. You might hear people talk about forgiveness, but you got to learn how to forgive yourself. Take accountability. This shit shows lack of accountability. I told him no. You told him no twice. It's time to find another fucking coach. Period. What I would have said, brother, I came here to get coached naturally. If you can't help me win naturally, do you know somebody that can? It's just that simple. I'm not saying Nyle could have won his pro card naturally, but there are people that have done it. He didn't even shop around. He told that man no twice. It was time to move on. Let's continue the video.
They're going to dry you out. And I'm like, well, bro, I'm getting 16 plus place. I'm never going to get my pro card. It's not a steroid, right? So I can take it. And this is kind of part of the reason why I feel like one of my biggest purposes in life right now is to just educate as much as I can, at least with whatever information I have, whatever information that other people have that are experienced, is because like I didn't know anything about gear, and I took aromatase inhibitors as a natural because it would make me drier on stage, bro. And that shit f***ed me up, man.
See, that's the oldest trick in the book. When the tempter wants to tempt, they're gonna ease you in it. Ease you in, you know? Take this. This is not a steroid, just to get you used of taking things you're not used to taking. Just to get you used to taking things you're not used to taking. Hey, take this right here. It's not a steroid, just gonna dry you out a little bit. Oldest trick in the book. Next thing you know, you're full blown needle up the ass. Next thing you know, you're full blown needle up the ass. Let's continue the video.
And long story short, there was a lot of other things that happened, but I basically picked myself up long term.
We're not gonna get too deep into the hippie shit, but fam, I would love to hear this long story.
And at one point I was like depressed for a year, and my female friends were telling me I should probably look into my mental health. I'm like, it's not my fucking mental health, man. Like my hormones, something's fucked up and I don't know what it is. So I just...
And what really bothered me was when he said my female friends. Notice that's plural. The English language is so cold. He said friends, so that automatically tells me more than one. Remember, the universe is backed by the numbers. You have repeating patterns. If there's more than one person, especially if these women don't know each other, but if there's more than one person telling you the same thing about yourself, not saying it's always true, but it might be something to look into. Especially we're talking about 3 people. But 2 or more people, fam, telling you the same thing about yourself, I'm not saying it's gonna always be the truth, but it might be something to look into. They're telling you to see professional help for your mental state.
And at one point I was like depressed for a year, and my female friends were telling me I should probably look into my mental health. I'm like, it's not my fucking mental health, man. Like my hormones, something's fucked up and I don't know what it is.
And he says, it's not my mental health, it's my hormones. Well, newsflash for a lot of you guys and gals that may not be aware, but your hormonal health is directly linked to your mental health. And guess what? Spiritual health as well. Mind, body, spirit, all connected as one. Just like atoms, electron, proton, neutron, all connected as one. Every part of you matters. Notice in the Samson situation, notice he says, I'm an asshole on prep, man. I'm an asshole, man. Think about it like this. Anger, wrath, they talk about this in the Bible. Being able to control your temple can save you a world of disappointment, can save you a world of bullshit, can save you from a world of drama. There's been situations where it's like, I know this person is completely in the wrong, but they clearly don't know any better. Let me just get away from this person. Before I do something or say something I'm going to regret. You know how much internal discipline that takes? Some people just like, fuck that motherfucker. Ah! It takes a great deal of internal self-discipline, spiritual discipline to let some things slide. I'm not saying all things. To let some things slide because you know this person is just a little bit lower than you on a mental level. This person on a conscious level is vibrating very low, and sometimes you gotta think for them. Notice steroids fucks with your hormones. It fucks with your testicles and your pituitary gland. Notice the word roid rage. That's spiritual. That is spiritual. Anything that can make you irritable, anything that can make you more, that can give you more feelings of rage, that is spiritual. Because we know wrath is one of the 7 sins. Peep this game. Not only do steroids affect your mental, but they can also affect you spiritually. Here's another example. One of the 7 sins is called gluttony. Overeating is spiritual. So guess what? When you're having cravings, you having that voice in your head, cheat on your diet, cheat on your diet. That internal dialogue, those internal battles that's trying to steer you away from the direction you're trying to be on, that's spiritual and mental. And guess what? We have drugs like Ozempic, right? That's gonna help with cravings. These drugs, any drugs that can affect your hormones can affect you mentally and spiritually. Anything that can help you with your rage, anything that can help you with your gluttony, those are things that give you cheat codes to your spiritual path, like it or not. That bothered me tremendously when he said, it's not my mental health, it's just my hormones. No, your hormones are completely linked to you on a physical, mental, and spiritual level. Another hormone, cortisol. Cortisol is perfectly natural. A little stress is good for us. But when our cortisol levels get to chronic levels, you know what that can do? That can make you lose muscle. Look it up. Cortisol can make you lose muscle. Not only that, your appetite, that's spiritual. If overeating can make you walk through the path of gluttony, what does undereating? Energy works both ways. You're losing appetite, cortisol levels being out of whack, that can affect your nutrient partitioning. You know what that is? That's how your body absorbs nutrients. You're not even gonna absorb all that protein if your cortisol levels are crazy and out of whack. You see, fam? Not only are your hormones linked to you on a mental level, they're linked to you physically and spiritually. Testosterone alone can boost your sex drive, can boost your confidence. You know, in other words, look at the thesaurus. Look at the thesaurus. And a thesaurus, another word for confidence, is faith. Some people don't even have a lot of faith in themselves unless they're on steroids.
I would say the biggest benefit that I feel that I've noticed, and my favorite one is going to be the mental. I feel a lot more mentally clear. I feel a lot more assertive, not aggressive, but more of like assertive. If I feel something, I don't feel like I have to withhold it. I'm not as passive as I used to be. I was always very, very passive in a sense where I would, even in public conversation, if people like, I wouldn't say my point because I didn't like altercations or whatnot. Now it's like, I want all the smoke. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, not like in a cocky way, but it's like, if I feel like disrespected or if I feel like I'm just more assertive. I feel like I want to say something and I'm feeling something, I'll say it. I feel like I just feel like more of a man.
These drugs are not only cheat codes, but they can affect you on a mental, physical, and spiritual level. Yeah, I didn't like that. You got more than one person telling you to check on your mental health. I'm not saying these people are always right, but just keep that in mind, because what that tells you is, that should tell you is, this is how people are perceiving me. Also, fam, you already know, it's the new year. 20% off code on my coaching site. Start Strong 20. And pretty soon, I'm gonna be having live consultations. 30-minute calls for anybody that wanna call me. Okay, talk about your training, talk about whatever. We can talk about how the mind, body, and spirit's connected. You know, some people like beating around the bush. When you call me, just know we're gonna talk about whatever you want to talk about. And you're gonna get a fully unbiased opinion, unbiased thoughts that are backed by the numbers. I'm here to serve my supporters. Don't forget to like my shit, comment, subscribe, holla back at your boy. We need a moment of silence before we fuck up these weights.